Hi everyone. So in this session, I'll be talking about another data type that is built in Python, and that is set. Unlike a list and tuple, set is a data type which is unordered, which does not allow any duplicate, and also has a different way of representation. So I'll talk everything in detail, but let's start how we can define an empty set. Okay. As you could recollect from our previous session, an empty list could be initialized with square brackets. Tuple could be an empty tuple could be initialized using parentheses. Now, if we check the type of these variables, we'll get to know the type of it. Yeah. So I'll put everything in a list, and as you can see, the variables are of li is type is a list, whereas tu is a tuple. Now, in case we want to initialize an empty set, okay, say s1 is a set, we have to use a function that is set, or you can call it as a construct as well. Okay, now if I'll check the type of this variable, I'll see that it is a set. Okay, perfect. But in case we have to create one more set that is not empty, we would put our details or the data values in a curly braces. Okay, so for example, this is our second set. If I check the type of this set, I'll see that it is a class set. Now, uh, but someone would come up and say, why don't we declare an empty set using curly braces? Okay, I'll tell you the reason why. If I check the type of this particular variable, you will see it to be a that is a dictionary. Okay, so in case I have to create an empty dictionary, I'll use this format. But to create an empty list, I would have to use this format. Okay. Okay, so basically at this point of time, I have two sets, that is S1 and S2. S1 being empty, S2 has some values. Let's find a way how we can add in values to a existing empty set. Okay, so there is a predefined function that is add. You just have to put the value that you have to add in the set inside the parentheses, and that's it. If I try to print S1, I'll see a new value as tyu in there. Now say I have to add three more values. Okay, let's add two more values. Let's add it to be xyz. Perfect. Now if I print this set, I'll see three different values appearing. Okay, perfect. So we have understood how we can add values to an empty set. Let's say I have come across a scenario where I have to basically concatenate s1 and s2. Okay, so there is a dedicated function in this case, that is update. Okay, so what I'll do is that s1 dot update dot in the parentheses I'll put s2. Okay, now if I'll print s1, I'll see both the set getting concatenated. Okay, one more interesting thing is to be observed here, that remember I said that sets are unordered. So that is something that is pretty much visible here, right? Now if we have s1 having these three values, s2 having these two values, and once I concatenate it, it's not like these two values are getting concatenated at the end. The concatenation is done haphazardly. Okay, there is no order that is being followed. Okay, like yeah, so there is no order being followed. So this is what I meant by unordered. And since a set is unordered, we cannot access it through indexes. Okay, so if I because possibility is that internally at index 0, at the first instance, Aditya could be there, and at the second instance, XYZ will come up. So there is not definite order, so we cannot access it through through an index. So if I try doing it, it will show me an error. Right? Set object is not subscriptable. Okay. So what is the way out to access or print the data in a to print the data in a set? One way is very simple, that we run a sorry, since this is an interactive mode, that's why after typing s1 we are getting the set. But in a batch program, in a batch mode, if we just run a s1 print, okay, in that case we won't be able to get this. Okay, so in order to access the values in a set, the only way out for us is to use a for loop. Okay, so what we'll do is that for I in s1 print s1, sorry, I, right? That's it. uh, Say for example we want this to be in the same line. Okay, then what we can do is for I in s1 print I here is equal to, yes, end, right, end. As you can see, we are getting the values separated with a space. Perfect. So this is the way we could access uh, access values in a set. Now say for example I want to add, we have the set. Okay, now I have to add a value which is already existing in the set. Okay, if I do that, okay, I won't get any error, right? I won't get any error. But if I again print this, I'll see only one occurrence of XYZ. So that means that a set does not allow duplicate values. Okay, this is also clear. So the three main characteristic, that is, cannot allow duplicate values, is uh, is uh, is immutable, is something that we'll look now, and also the other one, that is unordered, is also is satisfied. Now let's see how we can justify, how we can justify a set to be immutable, okay, or mutable. Okay, so as I said, this is changeable but only to a certain extent. We can only add and remove values to the in a set. We cannot update values. Okay, so what we can conclude is that changes are possible in a set, but only up to adding and removing values, not updating values. Okay, but someone would say, why is it so? So my answer to that would be that since we cannot locate a certain value in a set, how can we update it? Correct. Okay, so let's see how we can we have already seen how we can add a value to a set. Now we'll see how we can remove value from a set. Okay, one way is to use a dot remove function. Okay, so say for example we have this s1, I have to remove xyza, xyza. Okay, now if I print the value in the set, I'll see xyza not available. That means the particular value has been removed from the set. Perfect. One more thing. Again, let's try out removing xyza. It will throw an error saying that xyza doesn't exist basically. Okay. Now, say for example, we have a scenario wherein we have to remove values, and somehow we come across removing the same value all over again, and we don't want the program to fail with an error. Then there is a specific function in Python for this, that is discard. So say for example in the same set I try removing xyza again. Okay, it won't throw me an error. It will check internally if there is a xyza in the set. If it is there, it will remove it. If it is not there, it won't throw us any error. Let's try this out with some other value. Say discard kishan. Okay. Now if I print this, I see Kishan not there in the set. Perfect. Okay. So now we have seen how we can basically remove values from a list with and without error. Okay. Now coming to the basic fundamentals why set is used in mathematics. Okay. It's basically to it's basically to justify how Venn diagram operates. Okay, so if you could recollect that Venn diagram has concepts like differences, intersection, union. So union is nothing but a combination of two different sets. Intersection are the common values in both the sets. Difference is the values uh, which are which are individual, which are unique for a certain set. Okay, so let's see how we can uh, achieve that solution. Okay, let's say we have a set with say four numbers 1 2 3 4. Okay, we have another set which comprises of 2 3 4 5 and 6. Okay, so in case I want to get the common values in these two different sets, what I'll do is that s1 dot intersection s2. You see the common data values appear as the output. Now say we use the union function. Okay, union s2. Okay, as you can see we get the values from both the sets. Also, since sets do not hold duplicate values, we see the occurrence of 2 3 4 only once, despite this three values being available in both the sets. Okay, so this is how union works. Now let's see how difference work. Okay, s1 dot difference s2. Okay, you will see the all since we are just subtracting s1 minus s2, we'll just see only the unique records present in s1. Okay, so in case we want to see the unique values in s2, we'll have to use the difference function other way around. Okay, let's see. Yeah, basics. Perfect. Now there's a one more function, that is symmetric difference. Let me try this out. What is the output? As you can see, it basically fetches all the values that is unique to either s1 or s2. Okay, so basically instead of getting differences out of these using these two functions, we can basically get it via a single function, that is symmetric difference. Perfect. So these are the uh, few functions that is very important in sets. Also, now there's a concept of a frozen set. Okay, till now what we have seen is a normal set. Let's say I declare a new set, that is 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, I check the type, it will show me this to be a set. Perfect. Now let me define this as a frozen set. Okay, okay, let me do a frozen set function. I'll take the same thing. I'll check the type of s4, the frozen set, as you can see. Now, if I try to say add a value to frozen set, say 11. Okay, it will throw me an error. It will say that frozen set cannot have any attribute, does not have an attribute as add. What we can conclude from this is that a frozen set is immutable and is similar to list and tuple in this respect. Okay, we cannot add or remove any values from a frozen set. Let's try removing one and we'll show you. Remove, say, n. Okay, it will again throw you an error that an frozen set object has no attribute like remove. So this is a very crucial, I mean, a sub data type of a offset data type. Okay, you can say that. Okay. Now coming to our last topic for today, that is set comprehension. So if you have gone through the playlist, you would already know about list comprehension. So set comprehension is nothing but the same, except we created list out of a list comprehension. Here we are going to create set out of a set comprehension. Okay, and instead of putting everything in square brackets, we'll put everything in a parenthesis. Okay, let's see how. Let's see. We create a let's say we create a new set. We put everything in parenthesis and say I have to basically create a set of all even numbers till 10. Okay, so we what will do x for x in range 1 to 11. If you remember, or if you have gone through all my previous sessions, you would recollect that how a range operates. So the first value is inclusive, the second value is exclusive. So this particular loop will only run till 10 starting from 1. Okay, if x percentile 2, this again has been, the operators part have been covered in the playlist. Please go through that video if you have any confusion. 0, if I close this, run this, and if I print this, as you can see, sorry. So as you can see on the screen, there was a small error that for set comprehension we do not put it into parentheses, rather we put it in curly braces like any other set. Okay, so that is one correction that you have to keep in mind. Okay, so I'll just try doing one more time the same stuff. Okay, or maybe with a different logic, say S6, and say I have to create a set where the range is in 1 to 21. That is, we want all the even numbers till 20. So x percentage 2 is equal to 0. Now if I print as 6, you will see that all the even numbers are printed on the screen as a part of this S6 set. Okay, so any doubt, please do comment and let me know. And that's it for the session. We'll cover dictionary in the following session. So thank you for today.